That's how I started. I don't know how you started. You know what we're starting? You're tired.
I am.
Why? What happened?
School.
School. It's Thursday.
My teeth hurt, man.
And you had Monday and Tuesday off. Got the braces adjusted today. Got a new band.
They hurt.
Yep. When your sister had hers, she had a crank on hers. Well, we had to do that a couple times.
Because her palate was too small.
A week. That was aggravating. You just have a gap. Small gap between your two front teeth.
Well, it used to be bigger, but it's gotten smaller.
Well, now it's going to get even smaller by your next appointment. Oh, orthos.
We're not even talking about that today.
Not at all. Nope. 'Tis the season for the thing we're about to talk about. Unfortunately, I wanted to learn about this eventually. But somebody asked, so we're going to do it. We were going to talk about Krampus in this one. That's going to be the next episode.
Yeah.
Spoiler. You're Phoenix, I'm Will, and we're here to bring on the questions.
Linktree.com/BOTQS.
There you go. We're getting the script down now. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker.
YouTube, you can watch us, and you can see clips on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Is that it?
There's more stuff you can listen to us on.
Yeah. Bunch of them. Buzzsprout. Podbean? Over on Podbean.
You can learn that. You can find if we're on Podbean at our link.
Right. Or just look for us on Podbean. Send a question. Get us on Instagram or Facebook. All those links are on there too. Send a question. Kathy asks us, what is Advent? That's the question.
You stole my line.
I did. I was getting excited. I guess I don't have to say, so Miss Phoenix, what question are we bringing in this episode?
You stole my line.
I'm sorry. I messed it all up.
That's fine. We talked about my teeth in the beginning.
Yeah, we did. Do you want to read the first paragraph?
I guess. The season of Advent is the foundational period that initiates the entire liturgical year in most Western Christian traditions. Liturgical means anything related to public worship. Far from merely being a countdown to Christmas, Advent establishes the theological parameters for Christian
eschatology
and devotion. Eschatology means the part of theology concerned with death, judgment, and the final destiny of the soul and of humankind. It is fundamentally a time of heightened anticipation and focused preparation.
Yep. So now it's post-harvest, and we are preparing to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Or so we've been told.
Yes, we don't really know the exact date of birth. I learned from social studies.
Oh, good. So you learned about some of this in social studies.
Yes. One of our units was I think our last unit was Christianity.
Yeah, that's the one. Those fellers.
Or our last big unit, because our last one, our actual last one, was the Byzantine Empire, but that was just the Western Roman Empire part.
See, you said Roman. I went to place in my brain where I learned about the months of the year earlier today, and it's something I didn't know. Merriam-Webster actually shared about it. We're not going to talk about it right now because we will save that for an episode about the months.
We've talked about the days of the week in one of our past episodes.
Yep,
Go check that out.
that was an early one.
Yeah, I think that was like probably our second or third.
Yeah, probably. Now this is episode 38.
Holy freak. It's been
38 weeks.
38 plus weeks.
Right, we did miss a week. Here or there, maybe. We're not talking about the weeks that we've done. We're talking about the last several days. From the beginning of December to Christmas.
As of recording, there's only 21 days till Christmas.
Oh my goodness. But as of listening to this episode, if anyone listens on the Monday it publishes, it would be December 8th. So 21, 20, 19, 18, 17 days till Christmas. If you're listening on the day this comes out.
We're like coming up on less than 20 days till Christmas.
Yep. Advent is important. Want to get into it?
It's going by so fast.
The name of the season itself reveals its historical and theological weight. The word Advent stems from the Latin word adventus, signifying the coming or arrival. Historically, adventus was utilized within the Roman Empire to describe the solemn, ceremonial arrival of a high official, emperor, or conquering king. This usage imbues the season with an immediate sense of royalty and sovereignty. In the Greek New Testament, the corresponding word used for the arrival of Jesus is parousia. This term carries specific connotations of a royal presence or a majestic, transformative appearance. The early church, by adopting terminology associated with the arrival of a sovereign ruler, defined Advent not simply as preparation for the nativity of a child, but as an anticipation of the arrival of the ultimate king. Oh, here we go.
The first of many. Advent's liturgical structure is ingeniously designed to prepare the faithful for two distinct, yet intimately connected advents or comings of Christ. First, the Incarnation, the celebration of the anniversary of our Lord's birth at Bethlehem, occurring on Christmas Day. This historical coming is the foundation of the faith. Second, the Parousia, the expectation of Christ's final return at the end of time to judge the living and the dead. This dual focus is crucial to understand the season. The scripture readings during Advent consistently call the faithful to be alert and ready, cautioning against distraction by worldly cares, thus emphasizing the eschatological way of the second coming. The season begins with this yearning for the return of the Lord, then gradually shifts focus, especially in the final week, December 17th to 24th, toward preparing the heart for the joyous celebration of the Nativity.
Cool, huh? I thought I was going to comment on something in there. I don't remember now. Oh well, moving on. Furthermore, for Western traditions such as the Catholic, Lutheran, and Anglican communions, Advent signifies preparation for a third, ongoing arrival, Christ's perpetual sacramental presence in the world and the Eucharist. Therefore, the season encourages self-reflection on how one lives in the now during the time between Jesus' first and second Advents, urging followers to practice expectant waiting, resilient joy, and self-giving love. The fact that Advent marks the beginning of the liturgical year symbolically represents the entire span of human history, the period of waiting for the full revelation of God through Christ.
You better not pout. You better not cry. You better not shout. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Jesus Christ is coming to the town.
That's not who they wrote the song for.
Well, it makes sense in this. Because resilient joy.
Resilient Joy. Is that on the song?
No.
Oh.
But it tells you not to be angry or sad. Not shout or like fear.
Right.
Constant joy.
Constant resilient joy.
Resilient joy.
Meaning that you should always resolve to be happy. For the whole Christian thing, the return of Jesus, always be joyful that Jesus will return. Always resolve yourself to be joyful. Know that Jesus will return, no matter your trials and tribulations in your own life. That's that whole thing.
Look at the bright side.
There you go. Look at the bright side. There's a podcast called The Brighter Side. One of the guys from the last podcast on the left, Ed Larson, he's one of the hosts of it. So they find these crazy news articles and they try to find the brighter side of the news article, no matter what the subject is.
Like a murder?
Yeah, they try to find the brighter side of that, or some kind of robbery. Like, well, they took it from you, now you don't have to worry about that thing. The brighter side.
Now you don't have to pay for cable anymore. They took your TV. They're saving you a lot of money.
Guess I can cancel that subscription to Netflix.
Yeah. Keep it on your phone. It's like a mini TV.
It's a mini everything.
Yeah. Not so mini calculator. It's the same size as a calculator. If not bigger.
Yep.
The development of Advent was not a sudden decree, but a gradual process rooted in earlier Christian aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how you spell aesthetic.
Not aesthetic, ascetic. Keep going, you'll figure out what that means.
Christian ascetic practices, influenced heavily by the structure and piety of the Lenten season.
Lent.
Oh, Lent.
That's not yet. But Advent, well, we'll get into it.
Ascetic is an adjective. It means characterized by or suggesting the practice of severe self-discipline and abstention from all forms of indulgence, typically for religious reasons.
You know what abstinence is? Well, abstinence is to take absence from the thing that you were doing. Like, Lent, like you give things up. Abstain from drinking Dr. Pepper for however long. That's a simple one. I always give up coffee and cigarettes for Lent.
So Lent is always?
Is what?
Always?
Yeah, I don't consume coffee or cigarettes ever. Yeah. That's the joke. Come on.
I know. That's why I said so Lent is forever.
Keep going.
The concept of a formalized preparation period preceding a major feast day originated with Lent, which historically predates Advent. Lent lasts for 40 days, memorializing Christ's 40 days spent fasting in the desert after his baptism. This model served as the spiritual and structural template for early Advent observance, focusing on prayer, fasting, and penitence.
Do you know what penitence means?
I've heard the word.
Penance, like punishing yourself for something you feel was wrong.
I keep thinking of monks.
Okay. What kind of penance do they do?
I don't know.
They abstain from everything.
Yes.
But is it a punishment? It's just a way of life for them. It's not a penance.
No, it's not penance. Maybe they would punish themselves for temptations?
But what temptations? If they're all the way out there in the monastery, far away from civilization, it's just them.
I don't know.
They don't get Dr. Pepper out there.
I don't really get doctor out there.
True.
Or pepper.
Is that an indulgence? Is pepper an indulgence?
Pepper's a seasoning.
Right. But are they indulging in something that they would enjoy? You know what these mashed potatoes could use? Some pepper. You know what these rutabagas could use? Some pepper. Or do they just accept it the way it is?
You tell me, man. I'm not a monk.
You can wear a tonshu.
Pretty sure only men are monks, though.
Probably. They probably frown upon a lady coming in there. Because then that would be something they would possibly desire.
Yes.
Co-ed monks. I don't know if it's a thing. The earliest historical observances traceable as precursors to modern Advent emerge in the 4th and 5th centuries, primarily in regions of Gaul, modern-day France, and Spain. In the 4th century, the Church in Gaul dedicated the period before Epiphany, January 6th, as a time of intense preparation for those seeking baptism. This period was known as Quadragesimal, Sancti Martini, 40 days fast of St. Martin, or simply St. Martin's Lent. It commenced on the Feast of St. Martin of Tours, November 11th, and encompassed 40 days, mirroring the duration of the Great Lent before Easter. This observance was marked by rigorous fasting and prayer, sometimes accompanied by the same kind of popular rejoicing that marked the end of Carnival. This original duration and focus on strict asceticism This original duration and focus on strict asceticism demonstrate that early Advent was defined by severe Lenten-like sacrifices, a tradition that lasted until at least the 12th century, with remnants of mandatory Wednesday and Friday fasting persisting into the 19th century in some areas.
The introduction of Advent into the Roman Church was a late development, contrasting sharply with its early emergence in Gaul and Spain. Historical evidence suggests that influential figures such as Pope St. Leo the Great
Died 461.
preached extensively on the Nativity but did not appear to observe a season of Advent. When Advent did emerge in Rome, it was predominantly liturgical rather than strictly essential, directly oriented toward Christmas, and lacked the connection to baptism that defined the Gaelic tradition. Early Roman liturgical compilations, such as the Galatian Sacramenti, circa 6th century, show that the primitive form of Roman Advent comprised 6 weeks. This 6-week structure is still maintained today in the Ambrosian Rite of Milan.
So Advent lasts 6 weeks for those ones there. Yet in the Ambrosian Rite of Milan.
How many does our Advent last?
How long does our Advent last?
Yeah, how
I
many
think 12
weeks?
days, right? Or is it 24? 12? It's 12. How many things do you open on your Advent calendar?
24.
There, 24. We'll get into that eventually. But in the beginning, Advent was not about those little indulgences, a daily indulgences or every other day indulgence. It was about sacrifice. You abstain from the things you enjoy, like Lent. And they practice that like it was Jesus's 40 days in the desert where he abstained from everything. But that's what Lent's for. You're going to do it now, then you're going to do it at the beginning of spring again. Such sacrifices 2 times a year. What's wrong with people? However, the definitive 4-week structure, which remains the tradition in the Western Church, was established later, likely during the pontificate of Pope St. Gregory the Great, late 6th century. This reduction from 6 weeks to 4 was motivated by liturgical and pastoral considerations. By shortening the season, the period of preparation for Christmas was intentionally distinguished from the duration of the more penitential and solemn Great Lent before Easter, thereby giving Advent its own unique character while preserving its focus on expectant waiting. By the 12th century, the 4-Sunday preparation, commencing near St. Andrew's Day, November 30th, was firmly established in the Western Church.
The observance of Advent has evolved dramatically over the centuries, particularly in the Western Church, leading to distinct differences when compared to the Eastern traditions. Historically, Advent was treated as a penitential season mirroring Lent, marked by practices of fasting and abstinence. Activities deemed celebratory, such as dancing and similar festivities, were traditionally forbidden. The prescribed liturgical color was violet or purple, symbolizing both the kingship of Christ and the penitential nature of the preparation.
We'll get into the colors here in a little bit, but there's different colors for the different parts of Advent. Over time, the strictness of this discipline lessened. The formal precept of fasting during Advent was largely abolished in the Roman Catholic Church by 1917, and similar rules were relaxed in Anglican and Lutheran traditions. Although the season officially retained a penitential character, the mandatory ascetic practices were replaced by voluntary spiritual disciplines, leading to Advent becoming, quote, almost devoid of any real penitential practices in recent times. This relaxation of mandatory sacrifice created a space for new, culturally focused devotional practices such as the Advent calendar and wreath to take precedence in daily home life.
We've also not talked about the wreath.
No. I think that comes into play here. Yeah, that's in the notes someplace. About the wreath and its role in the Advent.
No, it don't.
Is this boring to you?
No.
Are you bored?
I just took a
Falling
nap.
asleep? While I was reading that, you had a little nap?
No! Before we came up here, I was sleeping.
Yep, because today was a full, rough day out in the cold.
Yes. The vestment colors used by clergy in the decorations of the altar reinforce the season's theological identity. Purple/violet remains the standard color across the West, denoting both the penance required during preparation and the royal sovereignty of the arriving Christ. Some Protestant traditions, Anglican, Lutheran, use deep blue to visually distinguish Advent from the more solemn period of Lent. Blue symbolizes the night sky, representing Christ as the day spring or source of day, and is also associated with the Virgin Mary and the Church waiting with her for the birth of Jesus. Evidence from 12th century Crusader churches suggests that black vestments were sometimes prescribed for Advent, linking it even more closely to the solemnity of Lent and reinforcing the historical depth of its penitential requirement.
The final 2 weeks of Advent feature distinct liturgical markers that accelerate the anticipation for the Nativity. The third Sunday of Advent is known as Gaudete Sunday. Gaudete is Latin for rejoice, signaling wow, I just need to clear my throat. Signaling a thematic shift from intense penance toward joyful anticipation. This name is derived directly from the entrance antiphon of the Mass. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say, rejoice. Philippians 4, chapter 4, 4 through 5. I think that's what that means.
Yeah, chapter 4, paragraph 4 to 5.
Very good.
Like that and catechism.
Nice.
Kind of. I just picked it up.
So you're learning about Christianity in social studies, and you're taking catechism at church currently. And here we go with the Advent. You're going to be like some sort of Christian master by the end of the season.
It's like a math whiz, but religious.
The more you know, the more dangerous you are. You can shut down some people that don't actually know what's going on.
So I can go to conspiracy theorists who say Jesus Christ wasn't real, and I can give them a lesson on the Roman Empire.
You're rapidly becoming someone who can give the Christians, hardcore Christians, a lesson. That's what I'm talking about. There are some ignorant as in people who are clueless of what things are actually supposed to mean or what you're actually supposed to do, and what the Bible tells you to do. You'll be able to shut down some ignorance. This is my point.
Oh, yeah. The most recognizable symbol of this day is the use of rose, pink, rose vestments by the priest. Rose is considered a lightened hue of violet, symbolizing a temporary break in penance to acknowledge the nearness of the Lord. This tradition mirrors Laetare Sunday, the similarly named midpoint of Lent, reinforcing the foundational link between the two seasons.
The final days of Advent, beginning on December 17th and running through December 24th, focus intensely on preparation for the Nativity. This period is marked liturgically by the use of the O antiphons, 7 ancient verses sung during evening prayer, Vespers. These antiphons have been sung by the Roman Church since at least the 8th century. The antiphons are a masterful summary of theological history, using magnificent biblical imagery drawn from the messianic hopes of the Old Testament to proclaim Christ's coming as a fulfillment of ancient prophecies. Each antiphon begins with the evocative imperative O and addresses Christ using a different messianic title, e.g., O Adonai, O Wisdom, O Key of David. Furthermore, when the first letter of each of the 7 Latin titles is read backward, Ero Cras, it forms an acrostic meaning. Tomorrow I will come, dramatically intensifying the countdown to Christmas. These antiphons are famously adapted into the lyrics of the popular hymn, O Come, Emmanuel. So now when we sing that on Christmas Eve, I'll be looking at it a different way.
While Western Christianity observes the 4-week season of Advent, Eastern Orthodox and Oriental Orthodox churches maintain a distinctly different and longer preparatory period known as the Nativity Fast or Philip's Fast.
Who's Philip?
Where'd he come from? I was about to ask that. Why'd you read my mind?
Philippian. That's how you would actually pronounce it. Is that where it comes from? The Philippian? Philip's in there someplace. And he had a whole book in the Bible.
I mean, so did Mark, Luke, John. Probably another John.
Jobs?
I don't think. I think Job is a story, not a book.
Abraham? Is he in there?
I think that's another story.
Oh my goodness. See? Look at you. Shutting down my ignorance in the middle of this.
There's got to be at least one John in the New Testament and the Old Testament.
We should talk about that sometime. What are the hard differences between the Old Testament and the New Testament?
Old Testament talks about before Jesus. New Testament talks about the times of Jesus. And after, I'm pretty sure. Because the 4 Gospels are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
All right.
That I learned from catechism. And those are, I also learned that in social studies, and those are the 4 books about Jesus and like his life. It's telling the same time period just from different points of views.
Okay. So it's parallel stories.
Yes.
Okay.
So Jesus' birth, which is around 4 BC.
4?
BC.
Is that what the 0 is for? It's when we started over, right?
Huh?
This is 0 when we started over? The birth of Christ? Is that what BC stands for? Before Christ?
Yeah, and I guess AD does not stand for after death. It stands for something that's Latin, and I forget the Latin, how to pronounce it, but the translation is the year of the Lord. Okay. So we are in the 2025th year of the Lord, coming up on the 2026.
Right.
I know the second word is dawning.
Well, I mean, we have the power of Google at our hands.
Not one of the first searches being, what does 6-7 mean?
Yeah. AD is an abbreviation for the Latin phrase Anno Domini, meaning in the year of the Lord. BC means before Christ. But we're coming into this whole CE and BCE thing. Today, the religiously neutral alternatives, CE, Common Era, and BCE, before Common Era, are often used instead. Yeah. We had to wash it.
Well, it's for the people who are 1, atheistic, or 2, not Christian. Or not in, or don't, or...
But again, to me, it's the same thing. The ignorance is astounding. Like, BC or BCE is the exact same time period. BC before Christ, BCE before Common Era is the exact same thing. All you have to do is just look back a little bit and you're like, oh, well, that's where that comes from. You know why we bring a tree into the house at Christmas time? It's a pagan tradition. You know what Christians don't like? Pagans. What?
You know who became Christian because of the Christians? Pagans.
It's what we do now. It's what we practice. No harm, no foul. We don't have any. We're not polytheistic. We're monotheistic.
Yes. There's still a lot of polytheistic religions out there.
Plenty of them. We've already talked about them.
Yes.
And we'll continue to talk about them.
Well, we've talked about some ancient ones.
Oh, there's some new polytheism?
Some current polytheism.
The American gods. Neil Gaiman is an author, and he wrote The American Gods, and it was a TV show for a short while there.
Is it just our presidents?
No, it's like media. Just consuming televised entertainment is an American God. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Digital entertainment. We should keep going with Advent, though.
We were talking about Philip.
Yeah, that guy. His fast. Philip's fast. Nativity fast.
Yeah, they're pretty speedy.
During a fast, feels like it's slow.
Before you have your break fast.
That's right. That's what that means.
Yeah, you're breaking your fast.
Because you're sleeping.
Yeah.
The more you sleep, the less you eat.
Beans are medical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot,
The better you feel.
yeah. I forget the rest of the word. That just reminded me of that.
Because of the cadence that I gave it?
Yes.
Crucially,
the Eastern focus is primarily on the proclamation and glorification of the incarnation of God, whereas the Western focus balances the anticipation of the birth with the expectation of the second coming. So, Holy Roman Empire versus Byzantine Empire.
go on.
That's Eastern and Roman.
Oh, okay. That's the Eastern and Western.
Yeah. That's what I meant, not Roman. They're both Roman.
Which one's Roman? East or West?
Both.
What? Which one's Byzantine?
West.
Why?
They split up the types of Christianity. Eastern Holy Church, Eastern Holy.
Eastern Orthodox, Western Orthodox.
Yeah. Western is the Byzantine Empire.
They're over there. That side. That's West.
Western is the Byzantine Empire. Eastern, well, we switched because the camera flips us.
Those guys. No, we're doing it. Anyway.
My left.
Yes, left.
My left is your right. Your right is now west.
Everything is wrong.
Byzantine Empire
was in the West.
Wait, I did that wrong. And then Holy Roman Empire was in East.
Okay.
They split up. Eventually, this one fell. This one was really...
Who fell? Holy Romans?
East, West.
You say it. This is an audio medium. Generally.
Oh, the Eastern fell eventually. There was one emperor who tried to bring back the Holy Roman. A Byzantine emperor tried to bring back the Holy Roman at one time, but he didn't really succeed. The Byzantine people took fighting, because they fought so much, they took it as an art.
That's crazy.
They enjoyed fighting. And they were so good at it.
Spartans.
I think that's later. Julius Caesar time.
Oh. Okay. They enjoyed fighting. It was an art. They wanted the war to continue.
Yeah.
They didn't want peace.
They had a lot of wars because people kept trying to take their land.
Fools.
I mean, yeah, they are fools. Furthermore, the Orthodox Church still holds to the 40-day tradition of fasting, requiring abstinence from meat and dairy, although dispensations allow for fish, wine, and oil on certain days, particularly Saturdays and Sundays. Did you know this weekend is a 6-7 weekend again?
Oh dear, why is it a 6? I see why it's 6 again.
Because it's literally 6-7. Saturday is 6, Sunday is 7.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Are we in the 6th day of Lent yet?
6th or 7th day? I don't know.
Keep going.
The fast traditionally becomes stricter during the final days, December 20th through 24th. The last 4 days before the 25th.
Before we celebrate the birth of Jesus.
Jesus Chrysler.
Okay. Don't cry about it. Right. See, resilient joy. Come on. Resilient. Resolve yourself to be joyful.
My nose is not very happy right now.
Resolve. Find the joy.
My nose needs to find a tissue and blow it.
Maintenance.
The maintenance of this 40-day ascetic practice in the East provides a key contrast to the evolution of the shorter, less rigorously enforced Western Advent.
Amidst the complex liturgical history, specific cultural symbols emerge to facilitate devotional practice, none more enduring than the Advent wreath. The earliest precursors to the Advent wreath are rooted in pre-Christian Germanic practices, where evergreen wreaths adorned with candles were utilized during the dark winter months to anticipate the return of warmer, lighter spring days. Early Christian missionaries adapted this existing cultural tradition, transforming it into a means of evangelization. They taught people to use the wreath to prepare for Christ's birth, the arrival of the light of the world, and to pray for divine illumination. There, again, Christian practice invaded pagan practice, and they adapted it into Christianity. How can we spin this to be Christian?
See, Christians hated the pagans, but then when they forcefully converted them, they were like, no, you're one of us now. You're Christian. You're Christian now.
Yeah. Keep doing that thing. That's fine. That's fine. But what it actually means is this.
Yeah. You're one of us now. Come in. Come pray with us.
I can see it as a good and bad thing, because they placated the pagans to make them believe that they are already practicing Christianity. But the Christians were like, man, how can we spin this to be like, you know how much that means about Jesus, right? One God? The whole wreath thing? It's about that one God guy.
Yeah. It's only about one guy, not 10.
One God.
One guy. And his son.
Odin who? No.
No, he doesn't exist. That's God. And Thor? No, that's Jesus. The specific, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The specific modern iteration of the Advent wreath or Advent crown is widely attributed to Johann
Henrik Wickern.
God, it's so German. Johann Henrik Wickern.
Yeah. Thoroughly German.
That's a J, not a Y. That's a CH, not a K, but that still happens in regular English. Words are weird.
Yep. If you were to pronounce it American phonetically, it would be Johann Henrich Wichern.
If you really want to go, Johann. No. I can't do it in a country accent.
What? Johann?
No, the Johann Henrich Wichern.
There you go.
That's if he was American.
Southern American.
Texan.
But this guy was as German as you're going to get.
He's north, not south.
North Germany. No, they didn't practice that one. There was West and East Germany for a little while.
Well, all of Germany is north.
As compared to Egypt.
As compared to Texas.
Right. Yep.
Texas is
closer to the equator than Germany.
How close is it to the equator?
What, Texas?
Yeah.
Well, not that close, but closer than Germany.
Close enough to not get snow.
Usually.
Like ever.
Usually. Maybe up the very tippy top of Texas, by Oklahoma. Might get a little sprinkle of snow every once in a while.
Flurry that melts in the air.
But the desert gets cold.
At night.
Because there's no atmosphere.
At night.
Right.
Anyways, Johann Heinrich Wiechern, a German Protestant pastor in 1839.
Mm-hmm.
Wiechern is Wiechern originally constructed a large wooden wheel with many small red and white candles to help the children in his care count down the 24 days to Christmas.
Nice.
That reminds me of Hanukkah.
Oh boy, no, we're not there.
We'll
get into that at some point.
You light all the candles and you blow one out each day for the 8 days of Christmas. 8 days of Christmas.
Yeah, it's a menorah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, I want to talk about that because I don't know much about the who's its and what's its of Hanukkah, the menorah, the actual Jewish practices.
Are Jewish Lutheran? Because blue. Hanukkah is usually associated with blue.
I don't think the Jewish people care what your colors are.
Well, if Jewish people did care about the colors, would be Lutheran because Hanukkah is associated with a lot of blue.
Martin Luther was German, so. But I don't know what it is. There's a schism someplace that the Jewish people are like, nope. Jesus didn't come, or Jesus already came. So we're going to go this way, and Christianity, you can go that way. I think it's something like that. I could be completely wrong because I don't really know for sure, but there's some kind of schism. They generally believe the same things, but they practice slightly different ways.
Why'd you talk about Martin Luther?
Because he made the Lutheran Church. That's the kind of church we go to.
Oh. I was like,
that's what they talk about with Lutheran. See, Lutheran traditions, it's all in the notes there.
I thought you were talking about MLK Jr.
Martin Luther King was named after Martin Luther, yes, but I'm pretty sure, anyway. But Martin Luther, OG Martin Luther, is the one who created the Lutheran Church. That's a whole thing. We can get into him at some point. There's butter involved. It's weird.
Butter?
I know. It's crazy. There's a podcast that I listen to, A Ridiculous History, and they get involved in it. It's a thing. I know. What's
so special about butter and making a type of Christianity?
Sure. Yep. We'll get into that at some point. Ridiculous History.
That's weird.
That's what we're here for.
You know what? I'll go with it because it's my type of Christianity. I don't want to be Mormon.
Oh, no. Well, you get your own planet in the end. If you're Mormon enough.
See now, I don't.
Senile. Yeah. Right.
What? See now.
You don't want your own planet?
You know what? They can save their own. They can take care of their own planets.
There's enough of them out there.
I'll live on top of the clouds.
We turned this 6-page Advent story into something else. We're dragging it right out along here. Keep going.
The practice was later simplified for use in homes and churches to feature only 4 candles representing the 4 Sundays leading up to Christmas. Now we don't have candles anymore. We have treats, goodies.
Well, lighting candles is still practice. I think our church practices it.
Yeah, it does, but it's not practiced commonly in homes.
No. That's how you burn houses down.
Yes. Unless you have a glass container for them. But then all of your candles would burn out.
You know what? Let's just use electricity.
Yeah, just turn off a candle every Sunday. The tradition subsequently spread throughout the Western Church, including both Catholic and Lutheran traditions, by the 1600s, moving outward from its German origins.
The materials and structure of the Advent wreath are rich with theological symbolism. The circular form symbolizes the eternity of God, representing His love that has no beginning or end, and reflecting the immortality of the soul. Traditionally made of pine or fir branches, the evergreens symbolize God's undying love, resilience, and the promise of everlasting life in Christ, remaining green even amidst the winter season. The color green itself signifies hope. The candles, which grow brighter each Sunday, signify the growing anticipation of Christmas and the increasing presence of Christ, the light of the world, breaking through the darkness.
The 4 candles correspond to the 4 Sundays and provide a thematic progression for the season. They typically follow a pattern of 3 purple/violet candles and 1 rose/pink candle. The first candle, often called the prophecy candle, directs attention back to the Old Testament, foretelling of Christ's arrival. So, BC.
Old Testament.
Christ.
Nice. Well done.
Yes, Old Testament takes place in BC. The years count down, and then AD, Anno Domini, takes place in New Testament.
The year of the Lord.
Yes. New Testament. 4 Gospels. Life of Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus and juice.
No. Well, if you're into that.
I am into that. I like Jesus and juice. On a Sunday morning when I haven't eaten anything and I'm very hungry and very thirsty.
It's a Christian rock band. Jesus and Juice.
Do you want to go slam poetry? Jesus and juice?
Maybe. They could do slam poetry. Slam sermons. Slam hymns.
Oh come all ye faithful.
Hark! The herald. Angels sing.
Just aggressive. Passive aggressive.
You can be passive aggressive for some of those, but when there's an exclamation, you gotta
aggressive.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, the second candle, called the Bethlehem candle, represents the preparation for the journey to Bethlehem. The third candle, the Shepherd's candle, marks Gaudete Sunday. Gaudete Sunday, in its color, rose, represents rejoicing, providing a joyful break from the solemnity, emphasizing that the birth is imminent. The fourth candle, the Angel's candle, is to remind us of the angel's message, peace on earth. A fifth white candle, known as the Christ candle, is a more recent tradition placed in the center and lit on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, signifying the purity of the sinless Christ.
The Advent calendar is perhaps the most globally recognized element of modern Advent observance, serving as a functional daily counter that emerged specifically due to the need for tangible, home-based rituals in a period where institutional fasting had declined. The history of the Advent calendar dates back to the 19th century Germany, where Protestant families saw creative and concrete ways to mark the 24 days leading up to Christmas. These early customs were intensely religious, intended to keep families focused on preparation for the celebration of the Nativity. Simple methods included making chalk marks on doors or walls and wiping one off each day, lighting a new candle daily, or even placing straws into a nativity crib. The earliest known handmade wooden Advent calendar dates back to 1851.
The Advent calendar is a mass-produced product originated in the early 20th century, credited to Gerhard Lang,
Gerhard Lang, German printer.
a German printer.
That's another hard German name. Gerhard.
So, another German in a Christmas. So, it seems like Germans were they pagans before? Germanic tribes, pagans?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't that Denmark is Daneland? There's something about Germany, fatherland, that whole thing.
Russia's the motherland, they say.
Right. So there was pagan practices in Germany at some point.
So, welcome Germans into our totally not pagan traditions. It's
Exactly.
totally Christian. It all relates back to Jesus. Jesus and Jesus Chrysler. You know? It all relates to him. And him above.
If you can understand it enough to teach it, you have a good grasp on the subject. And if you can understand it enough to do it in a comedic way, you have a very good understanding of the subject.
My brain is a sponge, man.
And then you can spin that knowledge.
I have a SpongeBob homunculi in my brain.
And you can spin that information into a comedic improv.
I have SpongeBob as my homunculus.
There we go. Yep, you did it. That's what I'm talking about.
My brain is Bikini Bottom.
The location in the SpongeBob show, not the garments women wear on the beach.
Yes. It's a cartoon place.
I'm sure everybody knows. Probably.
He's very popular. I mean, he's been in. They have a new show. They like rebooted it.
Yeah, they keep doing that. SpongeBob is a cash cow for Nickelodeon.
Yes.
Paramount.
Both of them.
Yeah. Talk about Lang's innovation.
Lang's innovation was directly inspired by a childhood tradition where his mother attached 24 small cookies or candies to cardboard, allowing him to consume one daily. Around 1908, Lang created the first printed advent calendar which standardized the design. This calendar featured 24 small doors or windows which, when opened daily, revealed a picture. During the 1920s, Lang further refined the concept by introducing calendars that incorporated biblical verses and eventually small pieces of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Which we used to get all the time, but the chocolate kind of tastes bad.
Well, it's so mass-produced. It's just they just use trash chocolate in it and let you pay a lot for 24 pieces of gourmet chocolate.
And I've had so much of it, I can defer the taste, like in the new Little Debbie's Christmas tree cakes, like snack cakes, Christmas trees, the new chocolate ones.
Horrible.
God, they're nasty. They taste like that chocolate. They taste like the advent calendar chocolate.
Should we start a TikTok where we review snacks?
Should we open our advent calendars?
Bring on the snacks.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind trying a lot of snacks.
But back to the advent calendars. So originally with Advent, it was a time for fasting. From the end of November to the beginning of January was supposed to be a time where you were abstinent from many of the things that you like. But now Advent is a daily indulgence. Here's a little piece of chocolate. Jesus is coming.
Here's a little toy. And here's a little lip gloss for you. Jesus is coming.
Your mother got me a tea advent calendar. So there's 2 packs of tea. Well, the 24 days, there's 2 packs of tea every day. So each and her and I have each got one every day. And today's was it's a Brenner tea, but it's all different flavors of tea. Yesterday was a cocoa one, which smelled like hot chocolate. Didn't taste like hot chocolate.
Does it taste like chocolate tea?
Tasted like chocolate water.
So incredibly watered down chocolate.
Hot chocolate, yeah. And that's what we drank tonight. we screwed it up, missed a day. Today's was a peppermint one, which you would probably like, but I'm not super fan of peppermint flavored tea. I'll eat a candy cane every once in a while, but I don't just consume them regularly.
I like peppermint.
The popularity of printed advent calendars faced a hiatus during World War II, when paper rationing and governmental restrictions on images led to a ban on their production. Following the end of the war, German publishers, notably Richard Selmer, revived the tradition, offering designs that mixed traditional and secular holiday images to broaden their appeal. Richard. Didn't peg that for German. American service members returning home subsequently helped introduce the custom globally. The most significant shift in the calendar's evolution was the mass introduction of chocolate or small sweets behind the doors in the 1950s. This transition marked a decisive move from a strictly devotional preparatory tool to a universally recognized cultural countdown mechanism.
The modern advent calendar, regardless of whether it contains traditional religious imagery or luxury items, toys, or beer, fulfills a vital function. It formalizes the period of waiting for Christmas. Since the Western Church relaxed its mandatory fasting requirements in the early 20th century, the calendar provides a concrete daily ritual that helps families internalize the theme of anticipation, thereby replacing the daily ascetic structure that was historically mandated by the Church. Thus, the calendar evolved from a simple devotional aid into a cultural staple that actively facilitates the expectation of the holiday, irrespective of specific religious observance.
Advent calendars are for anybody.
Anybody who celebrates Christmas.
Why can't we have a little daily indulgence all the time? Here's your January Advent calendar.
What are we counting down to?
To the next day when we get the next little treat.
What are we counting down to?
So what you're saying is, if we give ourselves a little daily treat every single day of the year, then it reduces the importance of the Advent at the end of the year. I see.
Because what are you treating yourself for in January?
She made it to another year.
You treat yourself on New Year's Day for that.
What about the rest of the days? Like the rest of January? Okay, you treat yourself every day.
You,
No?
if you want to make your own little advent calendar, they don't sell advent calendars for January or February or March or April.
I think this is a missed opportunity for.
But that removes the significance.
You're right. It does.
Everyone
That's
gets
what we're all about.
Everyone gets excited to buy all these advent calendars
Mhm.
and open up these little prizes
Yes.
for December.
Capitalism is all about reducing significance.
So let's
Period.
keep the significance alive and not treat ourselves every day of the year. You can do that with other stuff.
Like what?
You can give yourself a little treat after dinner. What's for dessert?
There we go.
Give yourself a little dessert every day. That's your treat.
But I want it to come from a box that has a little door with a number next to it.
So
I know which one to open.
So paint over your ice cream, cut out a little door, stick your finger in it, open
And
it
pull out a
up.
cherry?
No, get a spoon and eat some ice cream.
There's no doors in ice cream.
That's why you make your own.
Oh, no. No.
Yes. What, do you want to make a little box with different doors?
That's just consuming. It's not consumerism. I want to practice consumerism all the time.
So make one for different toppings on your ice cream.
I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say.
I think I do.
All right, we better keep going. We're almost done.
You're just like your mother. You want dessert. Doesn't mine?
I think so, right?
Maybe?
Oh, no. You read the last one. The season of Advent, defined by the anticipation of the coming Adventists of Christ, is a profoundly complex period shaped by over 15 centuries of liturgical development. Its origins tracing back to the penitential 40-day preparation known as St. Martin's Lent in 4th century Gaul, demonstrates an initial focus on baptismal and ascetic discipline, drawing heavy inspiration from Lent. The eventual Roman formalization into a 4-week season, reducing the duration to avoid equally the severity of Lent. I'll just read the whole sentence again. The eventual Roman formalization into a 4-week season, reducing the duration to avoid equaling the severity of Lent, cemented the dual theological focus on Christ's historical incarnation and his future second coming.
The analysis of comparative observance highlights a critical divergence. The Western Church substantially relaxed its mandatory fasting mandates, leading to a spiritual vacuum that cultural practices such as the Advent wreath and the Advent calendar have since filled. These traditions provide accessible, structured, and symbolic means for the faithful to engage in the spirit of hopeful waiting.
Kava and Yakal.
The wreath, developed in 19th century German Lutheranism, provides a continuous, tangible symbol of eternity and increasing light, while the calendar, beginning as simple chalk marks, provides a practical daily mechanism for marking the passage of time.
Ultimately, Advent's enduring relevance lies in its call to embrace, quote, hopeful waiting. It is a period that simultaneously looks back to the fulfilled prophecies of the Old Testament, celebrated powerfully through the O antiphons, recognizes the ongoing presence of Christ, and forces reflection on one's preparedness for the final judgment. The season is a directive to live justly, act in peace, and persevere in service, embodying the restoration that the world awaits. While the outward forms of observance may have softened in the West, the foundational theological mandate remains sharp: to be alert, ready, and actively engaged in bringing peace on earth while waiting with longing for the renewed world to come. Here we go. We did it. We learned so much.
'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. La 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 la. Your turn.
Slam. Deck the hall slam. Trying to think. Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, had a very shiny nose.
And if you ever saw it, you would say it glows.
This is ridiculous.
We have fun.
We do have fun.
I think I've said that on every episode too.
We have fun? Possibly.
Like almost everyone that we've done in a row. Like recently.
Jingle bells. Jingle bells. Jingle.
Batman smells. Robin laid an egg.
All right. Somehow, we were learning about Advent, and it turned into slam poetry of the hymns.
Slam poetry, Christmas edition.
Question brought.
Question answered.